Everyone's always like, are you Team Gale or are you Team Peeta? I'm Team Finnick Odair, baby. What is up, film geeks? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to my channel. Over the past couple weeks, I've been rewatching one of my favorite franchises of all time, the Hunger Games movies. So today we're going to rank all 4 Hunger Games movies from the worst to the best, and these are going to be more of a little spoiler reviews kind of going into this world, because like I said, it is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So definitely want to talk about these movies a little bit more than I normally would, and join me down below in the comment section. How does your guys' ranking compare? Do you love some of these? Do you hate some of these? 2 of them are probably in my top 30 favorite movies of all time. Very excited to get into this. Let me know how your guys' ranking compares. With that said, let's get started. Right at number 4, and in last place is going to be the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now, there's quite a bit of things I enjoy from this film, and some things I don't really enjoy. One thing I really do enjoy is being able to cap off this franchise pretty dang nicely. I mean, there's some problems I have, which I'll get to in just a second, but just being able to explore this world even more and how they're trying to go and kill President Snow, which is kind of the objective of the film, and really just end everything that bad that's happening in Pan Am. And that always intrigued me when you're watching this movie. The stakes feel like an all-time high, and you kind of feel that your characters that you love are not all of them are going to make it to the end of this franchise or the end of the film. And as they're going to find and kill President Snow, all the traps that are laid out throughout all of it is insane. Something we haven't seen before. It's like the games outside of the games, that President Snow's always one step ahead of them, and the rebels led by the Mockingjay, Katniss Everdeen, are all just trying to go out there, and all the while you have Katniss and Peeta and their relationship that's not really vibing. They're trying to work past their little problems, and Peeta being poisoned, trying to train basically to kill Katniss. They're trying to work through all of that, all the while trying to free Pan Am and kill President Snow to bring an end to everything. And a couple problems I have with this film is it is extremely long, and you feel how long it is several times throughout the film. You thinking it's going to end, and you got about 45 more minutes. So the prolongedness of this film is a little bit too long at times, and normally that wouldn't be a problem, but there seems to be lots of wasted space throughout this film that you feel that could have been cut out or edited out in a way. And also, the big problem I have is they really just kind of blow by characters' deaths. And I'm not expecting them to kind of sit and have a funeral or mourn for them, but what they did for Rue in Hunger Games, how they kind of sat with it for a second, they gave her kind of like a send-off, was something that I really appreciated from the first Hunger Games. With this one, our character Boggs, played by Mahershala Ali, I wasn't expecting someone to be hecka sad about it, but when he dies, just blows right over it. Then my favorite character of the Hunger Games franchise, Finnick Odair, when he dies, it's very just kind of fast and like, okay, it's over, now we're moving on. Which again, I'm not expecting them to kind of sit there and wait for it, because they're in the midst of battle, they're on a mission, they know not everyone's going to make it. But Primrose Everdeen, one of the most beloved characters of the whole Hunger Games movies, and she's someone that everyone loves. She's just a sweet girl who Katniss risked her life for to go into the games. So you feel for this girl. She gets blown up right in front of Katniss, and then Katniss wakes up in a hospital, and it's all kind of over. We have a little bit of mourning in there, but it seems like something just kind of blew past it. And I never understand why kill Rue. I mean, it really just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't like how they did that in the book. I don't like how they did that here. That's a couple nitpicks I have for you. I do enjoy this movie quite a bit, especially coming around to the end where Peeta and Katniss, they finally get together. They fall in love like they kind of always were throughout the movies. They have kids, and they get to live happily ever after. If they ever want to make like a prequel Hunger Games or sequels down the road, I would be down for it. I absolutely love this franchise. Next up at number 3 is going to be Mockingjay Part 1. Now, I actually enjoy this film quite a bit. Peeta got kidnapped after the end of Catching Fire, and that's what I always loved about his movies. They take place right after the other one. They're all set in stone together, and I really appreciate when a film franchise can do that. So Peeta is at the Capitol, and the objective is trying to basically go and get him back and have District 13 revolt and cause a huge rebellion to go against President Snow and the Capitol. We get really introduced to President Coin here. You like to dislike her. She's a anti-hero in a way, like what she's doing is right, and you can get kind of behind her mission, but you never really like her as a character. She's played brilliantly, but she's just someone you like to dislike. And also you get Mahershala Ali in there. Anytime you add Mahershala Ali, it's gonna be dang good performance. He plays the character Boggs, who you really get behind. He is basically looking out for Katniss, leading this mission to go get Peeta and to go in get President Snow. The whole objective outside of the games, go together and go and do it. Now, this movie has lots of like tension. You feel it building. And we really get to see what the capital is made of outside the games. They do have the firepower. They do have the armies. District 13 is trying to get this rebel army together to go and revolt against them. They don't really have the funds or the firepower to do that. But by the time you get to the end of the film, where they go and they get Peeta, and President Snow knows they're going to get Peeta, they bring Peeta back. The whole time he's been injected with a Tracker Jack of venom, which is just screwing him up. Always kind of scary seeing how scary Peeta looks throughout the film. He comes to the end of it. Katniss goes to see him, and Peeta dang near kills her. He's like on a straight rampage, and he's very strong. No one can really get a hold of him. Dang near kills Katniss, which is something I was always terrified watching, and on this rewatch, it still scares me. It haunts me to this day. I always really enjoyed Mockingjay Part 1 a lot more than Mockingjay Part 2. Next up at number 2, in second place, is going to be the first Hunger Games. Suzanne Collins created this world, and it is one of the most interesting, intriguing worlds there is. The kids from these districts have to basically get chosen to go and fight to the death in these games. A honestly twisted world that someone could create, but so interesting and intriguing, and the world building they created is so awesome. Them getting into the games, Katniss volunteers for Prim, that sister bond that hits you and that feels like it hits you hard, because what would you do for your younger sibling? If you guys are close, like they are, you would do whatever you can to make them safe. She goes in there with Peeta Mellark, who they kind of have a weird relationship throughout their lives. Peeta's been in love with her his whole life, as we find out later. But then going into the Capitol, getting the costume designs, how they dive deep into all behind the scenes. I always enjoy that more than them actually being in the games, because like the whole behind the scenes of getting to meet characters like Cinna, who is the costume designer, and the whole world creating. It was so interesting, and them training and them going through the whole like processing of getting rated before they go into the games. Who's the favorite? It's a twisted world. This is a sport people enjoy watching. Kids fighting to the death. You see the people celebrating it, that the Hunger Games is some America's Got Talent type thing. It's honestly twisted, but that's what makes it so intriguing. And then Katniss Everdeen at like the tryouts shoots an arrow at their head, and it's just something they're like, Katniss Everdeen will do whatever it takes. She does not care who is for her, who is against her. She does not like the Capitol, and you can see how she's slowly going to become the Mockingjay. Her and Peeta Mellark win the end of the Hunger Games. They make the Capitol really mad. They both are going to eat those berries to kill themselves together. They end up winning the whole games because they're in love. They create this false narrative that they're going to get married, and then it leads perfectly into Catching Fire, which comes in at number 1. One of my favorite sequels of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love Catching Fire. Many reasons why I love the first film. I love Catching Fire just that much more. It's like America's Got Talent, the champions. All past winners get brought back to go to the Hunger Games again, but this time there's a little behind the scenes magic getting worked from. And like characters like Haymitch and Plutarch, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, they're in the background and they're kind of pulling the strings to get Katniss out alive so they can cause a rebellion for District 13 to rise up. We don't know that till the end of the film, but you have lots of champions in there who are, everyone's hating the games. They don't want to go back. It's the worst times of their lives. Characters like Joanna, Finnick, Odair we get introduced to are all on Katniss Everdeen's side, and while they're in the games, there's people coming after them to kill them, but they're trying to keep her alive to get out of the games, to survive it all. That is the whole behind the scenes plan. The whole trickery, the whole overall scheme just keeps you invested. When you find out the reasoning for it at the end of the film, it makes the payoff all worth it. The games in this film are so much better than the first one. The whole arena they created is absolutely crazy, and how Katniss Everdeen takes that bow and arrow, and when the lightning hits the tree, she shoots it up, destroys the shield, and she single-handedly breaks the games. Is something that is so epic and so amazing. Katniss gets out, Peeta does not, and it leads right into the Mockingjay Part 1. I absolutely love Catching Fire, getting introduced to characters like Finnick Odair. It makes me so happy because I absolutely love Sam Claflin, but I am in love with the character of Finnick Odair, and Catching Fire is my favorite Hunger Games movie. What do you guys think of this franchise, and how does your ranking compare to mine? Let's talk about it all down below in the comment section. Remember to come back tomorrow as we'll be ranking all the Hunger Games characters, tier ranking all of them. I'm very excited about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that thumbs up button for me. See you guys next time.